Over the years, the Virginia schools, like many school systems across the nation, have been losing their public school students to homeschooling. Henry County, for example, has seen an increase in homeschooled students from 8 and older over the past 2 decades. In April 1999, the nation watched in horror as the news reported on Colorado's Columbine High School shooting. Afterwards, the Virginia schools saw a steady increase of applications from parents who wished to homeschool their children. Though the number of children who are homeschooled has continued to increase within the Virginia schools, the reasons have changed. School violence and security remains to be a primary concern of Virginia schools' parents, but they now have a variety of other reasons, including 1. Too much emphasis on the standardized testing now required. 2. Fearing their children are being taught only to pass tests rather than a focus on actual learning that is retained and useful later in life. 3. The ability of Virginia schools' children to adjust to the middle and high school environments. 4. Virginia schools' parents' perception of negative influences within the traditional school environment. This is especially true for families with strong religious beliefs. 5. Some Virginia schools' parents simply want to keep their children at home for a longer period, placing them back within the Virginia schools for high school. Religious exemption. If a parent applies for release of their child from the Virginia schools for religious reasons, they are exempt from enrolling their child in any other form of education through age 18. They may wish to do so and can, but they are not required to do so by the Virginia schools. If they do enroll the child elsewhere or homeschooling, they also are not required to keep the Virginia schools apprised of the child's progress. Other exceptions. In order for parents to homeschool their children, other than under the religious exemption, they must meet one of 4 requirements developed by the Virginia schools. 1. Effective July 1, 2006, the parent, who will be teaching the child, must have a high school diploma. The parent teaching the child must provide to the Virginia schools a description of the curriculum he or she plans to use for the child. The child does not have to meet Virginia schools' graduation requirements, however, progress must be shown to the Virginia schools at the end of each year. 2. The parent, who will be teaching the child, must have a current teacher certification, and provide to the Virginia schools a description of the curriculum he or she plans to use for the child. The child does not have to meet Virginia schools' graduation requirements, however, progress must be shown to the Virginia schools at the end of each year. 3. The parent is to enroll the child into a Virginia school's recognized correspondence homeschool. There are approximately 19 such schools across the nation. A list may be obtained from the Virginia schools. Correspondence schools are private businesses that operate as schools, charging for their services. They usually cost $800 to $1,200 annually per student, though some charge as much as $4,000 a year. The more you pay, the more services you get, including report cards, transcripts, and diplomas. Though coursework is administered by the parent, he or she has no educational level requirement. The child meets the graduation requirements of the correspondence school, and progress must be shown to the Virginia schools at the end of each year. 4. No educational level must be met by the parent who is teaching the child. They must provide to the Virginia schools a description of the curriculum he or she plans to use for the child, which must include language arts and mathematics. The child does not have to meet Virginia schools' graduation requirements, however, progress must be shown to the Virginia schools at the end of each year. Description of the curriculum in requirements 1, 2, and 4 includes a list of the subjects that will be taught, and the textbooks that will be used for language arts and mathematics. In all 4 requirements, the child's academic progress must be proved to the Virginia schools either with standardized test scores, or through a portfolio of the child's work. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please stop by our site for more homeschooling info. If you are interested in a Christian, self-paced, online homeschooling course with customizable curriculum, just follow the link in the description.